Oh, Bill.
I had sunscreen
Go show
on. I was, I didn't, I mean, I might have a little, I mean, you can kind of tell where my wife is, but I wore a lot of sunscreen because I burn really easy.
All
I think
right.
I only went 40% of the ride without having my hands over my knees trying to protect them from the sun, because I could tell they were burning.
It's 9 o'clock. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so it's discussion with possible action. Oops. Consider for approval minutes and agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes and agendas presented.
So
Motion by Derby, seconded by Jen Bowles to approve the minutes and agenda. All in favor, say aye. Motion passed. Now we can do 9 a.m. discussion with possible actions, use of courthouse grounds for Pucker Brush Days.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
So I did send in 2 maps, so you could get an idea of what was happening around the courthouse for Pucker Brush, I should say proposed, for your approval. It'll be pretty much the same as previous years. Different this year, we'll have a car show going right down J Street here and up here and around. So all access around the courthouse would be blocked just on Saturday until about 1 o'clock. And if anyone needed to get in, of course, they could go through the cones. But that would be something different this year for Pucker Brush. Also different this year is I'd like to put a sign on this corner right over here with your permission as part of Pucker Brush. That sign would actually be, this is what I handed out to you. We'd like to do that coming up here in the next week, and it would be about, the largest it would be 4 foot by 8 foot. It would probably be more like 6 foot, facing this direction, kind of facing the corner, but not blocking any view for drivers on that corner. So, and this will also give you the list of Pucker Brush activities, of course, that we're doing this year.
So the sign would be on stands, or what would it be?
I'll put it in with poles. It'll be a plywood sign that will have a nice version of this on it, and it will be, this will be printed on a coroplast type.
So do you have to call 811 to
Oh, yeah.
do that then?
I do.
Anytime you put
Okay.
anything to the ground, they'll have to call 811 for a
They'll have to
location.
mark the space.
But it'll be the city doing the location.
Okay, so
But
be the
there's probably
guys.
communications there too.
There's a
Okay.
lot of, stuff buried.
That's what I
Okay.
was thinking. There's
So,
gotta be a lot of stuff
I
there.
would do that probably right away then.
So you can do it online, too,
Okay.
request it.
Okay, I'll do that. So, yeah, you can see by these maps here that I had sent out, we've got everything all planned out, similar as most years here. We're just using the whole thing this year, if it's all right with you guys, so, yeah. We're also partnered Friday night with Relay for Life. They'll be along J Street here, and we anticipate Friday evening things going the same as in previous years as well. We'll be downtown a little bit longer Friday evening. We'll have a band playing on Clark Street right here, fireworks a little bit over here in front of Emmanuel Lutheran Church. So that'll keep people downtown just a little bit longer Friday evening. Anybody have any questions for me?
I'll make a motion to approve the use of the courthouse grounds for Pucker Brush Days.
Second.
A motion by Derby and seconded by Jenswell to approve the use of courthouse grounds for Pucker Brush Days. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think as long as you make that 811 call,
Okay,
it'd be good.
wonderful. Thank you very much.
This for you,
That's for me.
that's for you, Carla?
Yep.
Probably wouldn't hurt to coordinate with Norma,
Mhm.
probably wouldn't hurt to coordinate with Kevin Peterson on where it's gonna go to.
Kevin Peterson.
Our
Yeah,
janitor.
he's the new Kevin Williams, he's the new janitor.
Okay,
janitor.
okay. I'll touch down with him here then today. Thank you
Yep,
very
same
much.
phone number, if you have that.
Okay, yep.
You can catch him any morning cleaning the fountain.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're out there right
They're
now.
out there right now. Yeah,
Every
I will
morning.
talk to him. Thank you.
Even on Sundays, I've seen him doing it.
Wow. Good morning, Scott. We're ready for you. Thank you. They've been mowing around your neighborhoods? Scott, they've been mowing everywhere. I saw a lot of mowing getting done on the roads.
Some of the blacktops are done.
Okay.
I had the guy from Cassuth County compliment us, he made his wife watch, she drove from Cassuth, mowed blacktop, out on 842, and then went into Winnebago, how different it was.
Oh, really? Better?
Which would be valuable, you can go down into the ditch further, they're just hitting it right on the edge there.
Where they got like a little Dixon or something.
I'm guessing that,
DTR.
that's all them Cassuth County supervisors would do is budget for a Dixon. I think they're lucky.
How did Country Thunder go? Was it successful? Anybody go?
Like,
I didn't go.
Part of the EMS that was there. I know she said Friday night was not very many people at all. I know there was more on Saturday night, but I don't know if it was
Hmm.
what it used to be.
Yeah, I think I heard that attendance was down somewhat too.
I don't feel like they had very big names this year either, though.
I think that's the problem was.
Hmm. Well, Scott? Maybe needed to print something or something before he came up.
I'm gonna detour up on the stairs. A little longer.
Detours everywhere, isn't there? Can we do the approval for the liquor license for Vinci Pub?
Yes, we can. I'll get that out from the fireworks permit, how about that?
Yeah. We'll do number 8, consider for approval liquor license for Vinci Pub.
Do you want this stamped on?
Yes, please.
Need a motion for that?
Yes, please.
Should be registered.
I'll make the motion to approve the liquor license for the Vinci Pub. Second?
All right, I'll second.
Okay then. We have a motion by Smith and seconded by Jensvold to approve the liquor license for the Vinci Pub. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passed. Number 9, consider for approval fireworks permit for Three Fingers Campground for July 2nd to July 5th, 2022.
I'll make the motion to approve the fireworks permit with Three Fingers Campground for July 2nd to July 5th, 2022.
I'll second that.
Motion by Jensvold, second by Derby to approve fireworks permit for Three Fingers Campground, 2nd to the 5th. All in favor?
Aye.
So, do we need to sign this as well?
Well, so
All of us? There's place for it.
Yes, please.
Do we have the union contract?
Yes, we do. However, there will be a change to the public safety one. We'll get this signed and then probably next week we'll have a new one to sign. They have always been a 2-week, they're technically hourly, but they go on a 2-week, it's called like a swing salary, so that they work 6 on, 3 off, and so they're paid kind of like a salary, but it's not really a salary. I don't know if you're following me or not, but anyway, we pay them like that so that their paychecks are basically the same, so that it's hourly, but we equalize their paychecks. So we're going to fix their contract so that it says that in the contract, because it's never said that in the contract before. And it's also going to state the hours that they actually work in the contract, so that they're paid for the hours that they actually worked versus they,
Projected or something?
well,
But, like this Public Safety Commission, that's not us, is it? That's Chair and Vice Chair of the Public Safety Commission, which would be Andy and myself, I suppose.
yep, you're right.
So, do we have anything to do with this?
Well, you can sign it because you're the,
Yeah.
So we're signing the one that is going to be changed though for next week?
yes, because we've got to get it, it needs to get done. And then we'll just make the small change and redo it.
So there's just several copies of this,
Yes. Because we need a copy for us, we need a copy for the union, we need a copy for PERB, we need a copy for, pardon,
I don't think he reads it anyway.
well, there's that.
I got the detour on the stairs.
No, you've got about 30 seconds.
That's all I need, I think.
You got the detour on the stairs, you gonna take the long way or what?
I kind of lost track of what I was doing for a minute, actually. We were kind of deep in thought down there in the project.
Oh, it's all about
Deep thought,
priorities.
Shallow minds is always trouble.
You're down
Alright.
to 15 seconds.
All right, so our first bridge, F33W1, the pipes in the ground, they're backfilling. Hopefully that is in pretty good shape by the end of the week. Back opened up. The next project is L23W1 down by Lawrence Doden. That'll be the next one. Hopefully get the bridge out early next week. That might be an ambitious schedule, but hopefully we can get there. We have blacktops being mowed. We have the batwing and the side and rear mowers all going. So that ought to be done pretty quickly as well. And then the project in our office right now is we're digitizing our section corner tie certificates. If you don't know what that is, every time a survey is done and they use section corners that are out in the county, they're required to file a certificate, and a lot of our old ones aren't recorded, so we're putting them in a system where surveyors can get them without coming to our office. So that'll be nice when we get there. We're finding some nice, neat old records to get acquainted with. That's what I got.
Can you send me what you just said? That digitizing, whatever that was?
Sure.
That would be great.
She wants to get this spelled.
Mhm.
Yep.
So that's all done in-house, that's not something you're hiring any additional people to do, or what?
Well, Missy is my summer help right now, and she's working on most of it. But I thought that'd be cheaper and have more control over it than hiring the process out. I like to put my fingers on all the documents we have in question and really try and track down the origins and fill in any missing details. So it's going well.
Okay,
Yep.
well, good, all right. Are we done with Scott?
Yep.
All right, thanks, Scott,
Mm-hmm.
have a great day. Well, it is 9:15, and with Central Iowa Tourism to discuss agreement. Good morning.
Good morning. I will share with you if that's okay. Please.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, again, thank you so much for letting me come and visit with you today. I understand that you had some questions, but I also wanted to mention that the $500 that I'm here asking for today is for the current fiscal year that we're in right now, that, ends the end of this month. So that's, again, hoping to get in with your claims yet this year. Going forward, there may be some future changes to things, but a lot of our counties had asked for an agreement because of some guidance that they'd received from the state auditor's office about funding nonprofits, and Central Iowa Tourism Region is a nonprofit, so we did prepare a sample document in case that's something that you require or would like, and I'll hand that around as well. And then maybe just mention a couple of things. And again, this covers the time period that started in July 1st and then ends on June 30th, 2022. And many times counties ask, what are the benefits? And for tourism, I think you support like your Winworth Betco office, you work hand in hand with the chamber and stuff, but tourism really is the front door to your economic development strategies. Visitors coming into your county, into your area. So that's why, tourism is important for all of you. As far as a tangible benefit of what you get for that $500, our travel guide that's there, a copy for you. We list, and when the county participates in your participation level is at $500, that allows us to list your attractions, your public golf courses, your trails that are 7 miles or more, your county campgrounds, if you also have state campgrounds, and then there are some items that require a private membership. And those items don't come in under the county. For example, Melissa's office with Winworth Betco, in order to be listed, I think it's on page 6 or 8 in that guide, it says tourism offices. All of those entities there, have paid $150 in order to be listed on that page. So that's a little bit of a distinction between, what requires a private membership, what comes in under your county membership, and it's, all of those attractions and things to do in Winnebago County. And There's also some charts in there with hoteliers, restaurants, shopping, events. Those also require that $150 membership. But in general, you know, the things that your county has to offer as far as your attractions and things like, you know, your heritage park and things like that, that visitors come and see and do, that's when the county's dollars are paid to us and allows you to be featured in our publications and our materials. The annual report there just gives you a little bit more information about the Central Iowa Tourism Region, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
How is, I know Central Iowa works with Eastern Iowa and Western Iowa, but how is Iowa tourism focusing on competing with all the other states in their tourism?
Right.
What's our draw?
Well, in Iowa, we have actually fared much better than a lot of other states because people, first of all, were sticking closer to home and people were looking for those road trips. I believe Iowa has the second highest recovery rate for visitation compared to all across the United States.
Basically open for business
Yes.
rather than shut.
Yes, open for business. We have a booth, Central Iowa Tourism Region, we have a booth at the Iowa State Fair, and we'll be there in August again. And there were people that were so excited, you know, to hear about all of the things that they could do in their own state, as well as people that were at the fair visiting, maybe camping, or they came to Iowa because, you know, the fair is their thing, and it was just really fulfilling to visit with those folks and how interested they were. It was also very interesting, we talked with some people that had moved to Iowa because they're now working remotely, and they came home maybe because they were originally from Iowa, or they wanted to come to a state where our schools were open, different things, and so that was really interesting to visit with folks that were looking and had chosen to live here, either to come back home or to come here because they felt it was a great place for themselves or their family. So in general, I believe, you know, again, I think there's areas of our state that are still hurting post, you know, COVID and everything, but I think in general, Iowa has fared much better than a lot of other places. We experienced, you know, our travel guide when the pandemic first hit. People were still requesting that. They were still contacting our office, you know, wanting to know what they could do, what they could come and see, those types of things. I know I visited with different attractions, especially in our small towns. They had visitation from other states because I think people perceived that it was a safe place to come to. It's affordable. They were looking for that road trip to go and see and do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing, I don't know if there's some way we can emphasize, you know, Core City is pretty much the motorhome capital
Yes.
of North America and probably the world, but get a lot of traffic through here between one of the biggest dealers and the company having all the service work done on their equipment, and if we can, you know, expand that opportunity, you know, your local guides for the two counties really goes a long ways. I don't know if they're getting to the dealer out here or not, but I don't go in there.
Yeah, we delivered.
Good, good. But it seems like they're always looking for those guides, and I'm hoping they're getting them.
Well, and I brought Melissa boxes of our guide to share, and those, again, we print plenty of copies. Our goal is we'd love to run out of those because that means they're getting in people's hands, but we print a minimum of 25,000, and typically we're almost out by the end of the time period. So, yeah, and then you mentioned motorhomes, you know, camping, huge upswing. Our county conservation boards especially had, you know, told us over the past couple of years they've seen record visitation, record people in the park, camping, things like that, because those were the activities that visitors were really craving to go and do.
But even beyond that, people that come into this area are usually getting some work done, and because of supply and demand, their stay time is almost double.
Oh.
So you've got a captive audience for a little longer time than you used to. And they're looking for something to do, so I think it's something we could probably capitalize on.
So what is the criteria to be listed in this?
Sure. Well, we actually have a little sheet, we call it our what's eligible sheet. And like you said, those private businesses like hotels, restaurants, special events, some of those for-profit, the tour agencies, motor coach companies, they do require the $150 membership, like those tourism offices, things like that. But as far as your attractions and things like that, we tend to be a little more lenient. Some of the places that don't qualify to be listed in the Iowa Travel Guide because perhaps they don't have enough hours or they're only open seasonally. So we try to keep the guide as up to date as possible and make sure that, you know, we are including information in
So
there.
does it have to have requirements that they are open certain days and that kind of thing too, or?
We have several listings that say, quote, by appointment only,
By appointment.
you know, so that if travelers say something that someone loves, you know, historic artifacts or something like that, and there's a really great county historical museum or a small museum that maybe they're staffed by volunteers, and if people can make those advance arrangements, especially with some of the motor coach tours or group travelers, things like that, you know, then we want to make sure that we're helping to promote and share out information about those attractions and things like that. You know, and I'm not sure, like within your,
Grafton has
yeah,
one that's by appointment only.
so.
It was just that I noticed that there was some country schools in somewhere in here, but not like the Lake Mills one. Is it because it doesn't have normal hours or?
It probably just hadn't ever been submitted. We tend, you know, have tended to, like I said, be a little more lenient. Because I know the state office has very parameters, I guess, of different things that can be included in the state guide.
And so who can submit? Anyone?
Yes. And again, the guide, this is the 2022 travel guide, and
That's one of the duties I'll be giving Katie, is to go through, like, especially the historical society locations and updating the listings for both counties.
It's challenging when they're all volunteers, and trying to coordinate that is a challenge, for sure.
And do we have representatives from Winnebago County?
typically the person in Melissa's position is one of the folks that we send information to. And then now Norma receives the information as well. In the past, we worked with Kathy Rollickson before when she was at, and the various people that, I've been with the region for 27 years, I think. So I've worked with a lot of different folks in those positions, so.
I've been to one of their meetings when I was in Mason City.
Oh. As a representative, okay.
So does Winworth Betco have representation because of their membership there or because of our county membership?
Well, technically it would have both. Winworth Betco in the past has chosen to have that $150 membership so they could be listed on that For More Information page. So their, individual or business membership is separate from the county's membership, but yet if, as Melissa being a county representative or the person in her spot, then they still get the information. I should say all of our meetings, again, you referenced attending a meeting in Mason City, and I think it's one of those things that, you don't have to be a member to attend. Your county doesn't have, even if your county didn't pay the dues, people could still attend. And like I said, going forward into the future, there's going to be some different changes through our state office. So I think that, it's all are welcome and always have been. And we've tried to have our meetings primarily in a central location, so that people don't have to get up and leave at 4 o'clock in the morning or get home at 9 o'clock at night. They're
I think the one I went and attended was probably right after the Park Inn in Fort Mesa City. opened up, and
Yeah.
It was quite a to-do.
Yeah.
So for the ads that are in here, those are sold separately then?
Yeah.
And you have a scale for size and,
Yep.
okay.
And we did adjust those post-COVID. So like the small little, we call it an eighth of a page ad, that's $235 or $295 right now. And then on up to, a full page ad is like $975. So we try to make it very affordable. But again, how that piece is going to look in the future and things like that is likely going to be changing.
So the travel guides, there's 3 travel guides in the state by region. There's not one overall travel guide, or?
There's an Iowa travel guide that the state produces. They used to produce it annually. Now they do it twice a year. So they do a spring, summer one. And I believe that's the one that includes like the camping and things like that. And then they do a fall, winter one. And they don't currently list like hotels and things like that in that, just because of space limitations and all of that type of stuff. So the Eastern region prints a travel guide. The Western region does not currently print a travel guide and hasn't for several years.
Is all this information that's printed also available online, searchable?
Yep. And on our Central Iowa Tourism Region website, we have the guides available digitally, and then the people that advertise in the guide, if someone's requesting a copy of our guide through our website, and then you'll notice those little cards in there. We get those every day. We have cards in our mailbox, people wanting additional information, and they can request that through our website as well. But then for listings and other information, we link to Travel Iowa, because then the Travel Iowa, people can get information all across the state. Travelers, especially, here they're traveling through, north, south in a lot of cases, or across, and so we want to make sure that, we also share out that information for the state office. Because that's, that most extensive website.
Any other questions?
Are we able to approve this contract today?
I think it's on the agenda.
To discuss, yeah, it is possible action.
But this document here is something we can approve then?
And again, I'll reference that that's for the year that it's ending, because
Right.
there'll be some changes
But
into the
if we're
future.
paying a bill now,
Yes,
we
if you're
better
paying
have
it now,
in place
yes.
for the auditor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and, but want to make sure that you understand what you're approving,
Yeah.
the time period
So
for.
after the 1st of July, we need another one.
So the request for information, and on my board meeting, and I say tourism request for like postage and the line item, their office sends my office information, and then I send them each and every single town map and the brochure, or like the Forest City Guide, the Heritage Park thing. Everything that I have in my office, I will mail specifically to that person who requests. And I think that right before COVID, her office was helping Lexi plan a bus tour trip. And we almost had that executed before COVID came.
What do you think? Is there any numbering we want to do different on her, or just their contract number?
Yeah, I think I'll have Kelsey look at it for next year.
Okay.
But but for this year, I think this will work for now.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the contract with the Central Iowa Tourism Region.
I'll second.
A motion by Derby, second by Jensvold to approve this agreement with Central Iowa Tourism for this time frame, right? And we should date this today though.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm
I'm gonna have you sign here too, the top one. That's okay.
We've always had a relationship with them, now we have to have an agreement.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
When we first were asked to provide something, we wrote it up, and then a couple of our counties ran about their county auditors, or not, excuse me, their county attorneys. And, you know, I know some counties have a standard thing that they ask everyone to sign, but we wanted to make it easy and just kind of outline it and move forward from there.
So then are we able to pay our dues and?
Yes. We'll do that next week.
Thank
Thank
you.
you again for letting me come tell a little bit more, and
Yeah,
we
we did.
appreciate your past support and your support for this year as well, so thanks.
Did you get an invoice to Chris? Did you?
I think I brought an invoice with me today. I brought a couple of them. I have one that's dated with today's date, and then the original invoice date too, which I'm not sure that, but I did bring that with me.
Thank you so much.
That work better for our external auditor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, we will get this taken care of. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
Thanks, and
Thank you.
what's it?
See you guys in a couple weeks.
Okay, were we working on tens? Is that in front of you?
So it's tourism day, it's hard to keep.
What?
It's acting like Bill.
It's tourism day, I'm always. Not about.
Sorry,
drainage.
Bill.
We haven't done drainage yet.
Fire instructor. Why aren't you guys any good today? What's the problem? Oh, it's French Friday. French Friday, we were never any good.
Sorry I said anything, Susan.
All right, so I don't even know where we're at, guys. What are we, drainage?
Just work our way down. So 4.
We're doing 4. Let's see.
Chris is not here,
Oh,
so
okay,
You can dial all you want.
but it's French Friday.
it's tourism day.
And French Friday was on Tuesdays.
Oh,
Alright.
was it? All right, so I have something for drainage. So, the Lake Mills Care Center
Yes.
has this drainage basin
Structure.
behind it that is badly in need of repair. It's undermined, and, I mean, the thing is 15 feet across. It's big.
Part of our drainage or the city's?
Well,
We've had it fixed before. Sean Helgeson
Oh, okay.
has fixed it 2 years ago.
mhm.
And I called him again and said, it needs cleaned out, but we need to do something different because it's a mess and
and
concrete's
dangerous.
all broke out. And the manager at the nursing homes found kids' toys in there, so he's scared that some kid is gonna fall in there and get hurt. And
So I met with Randy Movick right
Yep.
after we talked, and I went and looked at it, and it's very dangerous.
Are we better off hiring another vendor that does the concrete part of it too?
So Randy and I visited again yesterday. Sean Helgeson was there with Ben Grothe, Premier Concrete,
Oh, okay.
and looking at it. So at least I know they're discussing
All
it,
right.
but Ben's like super busy. And so this is not something that's probably imminent. It's just, the concrete is big slabs of
Almost be
concrete that have,
protected then. We can cover it somehow.
or an orange fencing around it maybe, or
That's what I'm thinking.
something. I
maybe we
feel,
could have Scott put something around it.
yeah. And then it actually goes under the railroad track.
Why can't Sean do that if he's?
Well,
on the
Sean
board?
could do that, yeah.
Get Sean to do it. It's not really road department's job.
True.
Yeah, that's true. So it's, goes under the railroad track, there's a 24-inch or culvert that goes under the tracks right beside it. I mean, it's not 20 feet from the road tracks too. So is that gonna be an issue with railroad?
As long as we don't touch the railroad.
Okay.
We're just repairing.
Well, I know that it's going like the wrong way, even under the road, that culvert.
It's back.
He says it runs the wrong direction. Randy Movick said that. I didn't witness it or see it or would know which way it's supposed to run, but the one that comes from like the assisted living there, that's south, that water is like running the wrong way too. It's not running into this basin, it's going a different direction.
So you're saying surface drain is going the wrong way?
I could witness the water kind of going the wrong to the south when it's supposed to be coming north and into that basin.
I don't think that's our issue, though. We're just in charge
So-
of the infrastructure that it drains into,
Yeah,
right? That'd be more of the property.
that's probably private coming from that direction, but I bet it'll have to be. So Sean will have to,
The culvert under the railroad line, that's, I don't know, we can do, but that's surface drain again. I mean, that's not anything to do with us.
so just so that those things get looked at, so that we're not paying for them, I suppose.
Yeah. All we can do is work on our infrastructure.
So the concern was that how fast can it happen because of the concrete guys all being so busy.
Well, and Sean said to me that he could pour the concrete. He says they have the capability to do it.
Oh,
They didn't really want to, but he said he does have the capability.
Bill and I know all about that.
Sure.
We really don't like doing it, but sometimes it's gotta get done.
I took a bunch of pictures of it and, the concrete basin itself is probably 20 feet across and the slope is probably 10 feet. I mean, it's a pretty good sized basin.
So it's a concrete pan that everything goes into, funnels into with a strainer of
Yep.
some
A
sort.
couple of them in there. So
And
maybe
is
there's
there
a-
a sediment containment there?
Full of stuff.
But there
That
is
needs
a
to-
sediment contained.
Well, I
If
don't-
you text those to me, I can email them to my email and put them up.
yeah, I can find them. If I can't find them right now, I'll send them.
Okay.
I have way too many photos, but,
Or you can just email them straight to my email, either way.
yeah. So maybe we could just have Sean in the meantime put up some type of barrier until we know what we're gonna do. This Randy Movick was very concerned because he did find toys in there, and there might be a couple feet of water at any time sitting in the bottom of that.
Could easily been in the grass that washed into the.
Oh, sure, yeah, absolutely, but still, it's a concern, and I'm glad he called us on it. I just happened to be driving like right by when he talked to you, and then you talked to me, and I was just like turned in, and he's like, whoa, that is service. So, anyway, just wanted to bring that up with drainage matters. I'll find those and I'll send them out
Have
to
we
you.
heard anything from Arms on our public safety center? Do we know? This is getting close to a year ago, we talked to them.
I have asked a couple of times. Are you talking about the settling of the,
Well,
Or
it's
what?
more, they're gonna put the tile in
Get rid of the water.
last year.
I'll call him.
Yeah, see what's going on there. He sounded like, yeah, it wouldn't be before winter, next spring maybe, but it hasn't been done yet.
okay. Anything else for drainage? Otherwise, we're gonna go to number 7, open forum.
There's 2 places for you to sign on those. And then during open forum, I've had a lot of requests for a drinking fountain like this where you can
Fill your bottle.
fill your bottles for ARPA money. I'll just pass that around so you can look at it.
Would it replace an existing one?
This one right out here. There's a lot of people who bring jugs to work and try to refill them in that drinking fountain, and it's not very easy for them. And so did Kevin get a quote or two, and
Is that RO water that goes through those?
it's just a filter on there.
It's got just like that. See, there is a filter in it.
In that one.
Cartridge one you replace. I did that on my refrigerator. It makes a big difference, especially on the farm.
Well, and so I have a little bottle of water that I keep in my office that I water my plants with occasionally. And I let that sit on my window. And it's orange. I mean, I don't know. I don't drink out of that fountain.
It'd be interesting to see what they cost.
It's on there.
Oh, it's on it.
Yep.
$2,450 to $3,700.
Is that the only one in
I
the
think the
courthouse?
3,700 was
There's a one by the treasurer's office too.
ones where they can't tamper with it or whatever. I don't know, we don't have to spend money.
What's that?
Well, the expensive one seemed like it had more tamper resistant, or the juvenile, I don't know, what was the term they used?
Oh, which wouldn't be an issue in here.
That one on the upper right, the back page.
Yeah. It's vandal resistant.
Yeah. I don't know if we have that much of a problem in this
Well,
building.
if Chelsea's here, she can see
Right.
right out there, so.
I think
That would probably be for ones that would be outside or something, or in malls.
would definitely qualify under the ARPA thing. Clean water. Guess it's something we could discuss at a meeting.
If it's no touch, then it would maybe prevent something, but as far as the water itself, it's all going to chlorine and whatever's in there is probably dying. But I think
Does the county have any other
Bottles in
wellness
there.
funds or any of that kind of stuff? There's no real wellness,
Are
whatever.
we utilizing the ICAP $1,000 thing? Where's
We
that?
do every year.
What do we use it for then?
Oh, there's all sorts of stuff. Lots of times the sheriff or secondary roads use it for something. I can't tell you off the top of my head.
No, we got,
We've used it for
I,
cameras outside.
we use it, one year we used it for the IED, whatever. The zapper, didn't we get it passed?
Yep. Yeah, There's been lots of different things.
So how did you put a filter in your,
In mine, I do it in the basement. So before it gets to the refrigerator, there's a filter at the refrigerator, but I use this cartridge one that just goes right in mine. You just plug it in, you can unplug it,
oh,
quick connectors.
where do you get those?
One of the big box stores,
Lowe's?
starts with an M.
Okay,
But you can probably get it through the hardware store locally.
well, I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think it's worth putting on the agenda to discuss. Beyond that, we
Okay.
can't really make any decisions.
Yeah, it's at
It's open forum.
one of those ARPA meetings or something.
Okay, good, anything else?
I just told, I've had a lot of requests for it, and I told him I'd bring it up, so there you go.
Yeah, I think one would be enough, then they get more steps.
That's what I'm working on, making people healthy.
Well, then we'll put it
I
upstairs.
was just gonna say, we need to put it.
We'll put it upstairs.
We can incorporate it to the fountain where they have to go out there.
I don't care where you put it, it's just-
So this fountain out here, not the fountain, but the water, the drinking fountain, does it work?
yes,
It's functional?
Yep.
Can you fill a bottle of water from there?
no. You
I
cannot,
had to ask.
Not easily.
no, I'm not even sure how high the thing goes, but I do know that I've seen kids get water from it.
Okay,
Like the good old days when you just dipped it in a horse trough.
Yeah.
Like this is chlorinated, fluoridated, and filtered.
I've seen kids out there, their whole face sucking on that thing.
I'd rather have raw water from the rural well myself.
From the well.
me too. Kevin was telling me out here when they were cleaning one day that he came up here and there was a, I don't know, like a childcare bomb and the kids were playing in there.
Oh, all the time, all the
And
time.
he says, that's not,
Their
that
kids,
is not water that you really want
no,
to be
no.
sitting in.
It's electric, it's got electricity going through it. But there are people who bring their kids up in swimsuits.
That's
They-
so funny.
Should we be putting a sign up that says that it's not a wading pool?
I don't know. Would they listen? No?
Yeah, you and your signs. People don't read them or
If there
listen
was
to them
electricity
anyway.
going through it, there would have been a problem already.
I mean, it's a pump that's isolated.
It is, but,
If you weren't watching them, I mean, you can
They
get
wouldn't
to
have
the
got back
pump.
in.
well, and here's the thing, it's like,
They
it's
got here with baseball
a,
spikes.
like this.
Wire.
As long as they're not in the top basin, the kids. The top part.
You would not believe the things that I see out that window.
Well, sure, it's from your office window. You can see
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
We used to dive off this big cement bulkhead out by a dredge ditch just north of Rake, and it turns out that's where their sewer dumped into the lake. So all that stuff
We did
was
that
going on there. Somehow
east
we
of Thompson,
survived
too.
it. It was the deepest spot in the creek because you come out of there pretty good sometimes.
We actually did a swim out to the lagoon ponds before they got used, because I worked.
Oh, you knew.
Yeah,
All
I did.
right.
I
Well,
didn't
let's-
wanna swim out
So where are we at on our agenda?
Let's jump down to 10. Consider for approval signing the union contracts, which we just did, but I don't think we ever got any motions. Did we?
I'll make a motion to approve the union contracts.
I'll second.
Motion by Derby, second by Jensvold to approve signing the union contracts. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. And then we'll see one of those again next week. Consider for approval semi-monthly county claims.
That,
So in labor and mileage, it looked like our elections cost us $11,000 some dollars.
we have one more thing we need you to sign for elections. I think it's just the top page here. So I have to sign those. Should have done that during open forum, sorry. Oh, this too. I just need your receipt stamp on that.
signature perjury.
Yep, that's it. And then these are part of the claims, and this is payroll.
So is this from the audit that was done for Buffalo and Lake Mills?
No,
No.
that's for the audit that we hand counted from what the Secretary of State told us we had to audit.
Oh. This one never ends, does it?
Right. This was the election that never ended. So we did 3 separate hand counts for this election.
3,
3.
what was the third one?
The post-election audit that we're required to do by law.
So that's an automatic, or it was one of those, you were one of those that was selected?
You have to do this one for every election,
Okay.
no matter what.
Because there was also where he'd go around and randomly select different ones too, right?
Everybody has to do that.
Oh, okay.
Everybody does that. But he just showed up to some people. We thought he was gonna come here, but he didn't. We'll do one more claim cycle next week, just because it's June.
We always do.
Found them, finally. Finally found the pictures.
You need to take that apart to see which, because I think there's 4 or 5 different places you need to stamp.
Oh, because of the staples.
Yeah.
So like all the,
Yeah, let's just get into that part.
postage for the treasurer and stuff like that, they buy in like blocks of it, is that it? For their machines or whatever?
You don't have a machine, they just use actual stamps.
Oh, so they just buy a whole bunch, a couple of bunch a year or something?
Postage is going up July 1st, so you just buy.
They just buy them.
Well, I better go get more then.
I sent those to you, Carla, so they should be coming into your email.
Someone else is looking at last night too. Should write this some stuff.
Hey, pull up, like when I'm pulling up my email, these things come up on the side. Is there a way to get rid of that?
Probably.
Not right now, but sometimes when you're looking.
Yep.
Can you?
Mhm.
Let's see. So did you stamp this one twice?
Yeah, that one, Julie likes to stamp
Oh, so we
occasionally.
need to sign,
And I just kind of followed that.
so we need to sign by this one too then?
Probably better since, well, let's see, is that,
You got one on the back.
did I sign it?
No, you did not.
Okay, then I probably should sign it, just to cover the approved stamp.
Did you wanna touch base with Sean on some safety fencing or something? Or want me to?
Oh, that snuck out anyway.
Let me see.
No staple there yet.
See if I can use that.
So I'll make a motion to approve the semi-monthly county claims.
I'll second it.
Motion by Derby, seconded by Jensvold to approve the semi-monthly county claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Were you in favor of that as well?
Yes.
Good. That's good, Bill.
I don't know if you can see that very good, but there's the one.
You can see the debris in the bottom, actually, plants are actually growing in it, and trees and stuff. This shows the erosion going underneath the concrete as well. It's really broken up and bad.
Is that a pipe going into it then?
Mm-hmm. There's like 3, I think, coming into it. And then that surface, there's another picture that kind of shows that surface concrete as well. But I was actually standing on it and it's hollow underneath. That goes into it too.
That's all dirt. The dirt swale then? What is that?
I think it's concrete.
This one,
Mm-hmm.
that's the concrete. Is that concrete or dirt? That doesn't look,
Looks like concrete. 'cause of
It
wet.
is concrete that's just full of stuff and debris, and it's really very deep, and I had no idea it was back there. So you know where you go into the therapy?
Yeah.
You just follow that road and you're just about, I mean, if you drove into it, you wouldn't get back out.
I gotta wonder how much of this is our structure.
I know. That's why I would,
If any of it.
Well, the pipe is our structure. And a lot of times the sediment can be our, the cement sediment.
that's a
catch.
mess.
well, yeah, it's a disaster. The water now just goes underneath the concrete to get down to that. But yeah, we need to know who owns it, who's
Let's-
responsible for it.
Pull up. You can,
Because I did
It's
tell,
like, did we put that structure in? How far did we put it in? I mean, I don't see us approving putting in all that concrete that feeds it.
I don't see us putting that in either.
Mhm. So we might own the
Maybe just
pipe
immediate-
and the
well,
drain part
Within the
itself.
right of way, that's about it.
I I wondered too if it was city or private or,
Or private. Now, if I was to guess, it looks like something that was privately done.
What's it called for, is it the care center?
Is it ABC or
yeah, yeah,
ABC?
ABCM, is that right?
Well, let's try that.
Lake Mills Care Center, ABCM Corporation. And you can see how close the railroad tracks are there too.
Okay. So I started out just putting in private lines. Oh, that didn't, okay, it didn't do anything. Never mind. Drainage lines.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell Randy Movick, that if it's private, then
So
they're
where is
going
it
to
at?
request it.
Is it that area in that little island there right in front of the garage, or what is it?
No, it's farther back where your icons are. Go, bring it down. Bring the whole
Drag the picture
picture,
down.
drag the picture down. All right, there it is. Now drag it to the right. There it is,
Oh, there.
right there.
Okay.
Quite a,
So that doesn't even look like it's our structure. It's not part of our lateral.
No,
If anything, it'd be city, and it's within the right of way
right
of
of
the
the railroad.
so,
This side of it's not, but to us, it doesn't look like ours.
I did
Yeah,
tell
'cause our
him,
drainage lines are over here and over here. It doesn't come anywhere near one of our drainage.
so,
Now, it goes into a pipe right there in that little circle area.
that goes under
And
the
then where
railroad,
does the pipe go?
under the railroad, and then it must hook up to one, that,
Lateral on the other side.
yeah, that,
I don't think it's any of our issue.
that's interesting. Well, I said it was really close to the railroad. Can you make it bigger, pull it up and just see where, if we can, where does the actual pipe sit? There we go.
Oh, got a little too close.
Yep, and it says no. And that tree that's growing right there just fills it full of,
Roots.
Crap.
well, leaves and
Oh,
stuff, you know, it just is.
I don't think that's our problem at all. Not by the lines on the map.
Interesting.
It's not even.
So I wonder
the pipe
what
that
she
goes under the railroad shows.
Paid it out of last time because
Or
that,
if it was somewhere else. I wonder if the city's got something going there.
Need to talk to the.
I mean, I can text Chris and ask her.
Yeah, because, you know, if it's not ours, it's not even our responsibility to
It's nothing we can address today.
fence it or anything, but just
Other
keep
than-
it on your radar.
Right, let Sean know that we're not covering anything
Yeah,
right now.
that, for sure, we need to let them know that we don't know who is responsible. But he cleaned it like a few years ago, and I don't know who paid to have that done.
'Cause I don't remember a bill coming through for it, but
No, I don't remember ever looking at this before.
Okay. Yeah.
So whoever paid him last time, I assume is taking responsibility for it, so.
Well, the guy that called said that we pay for it, so I'm,
He made that sound that way to me too, so I thought, oh, well, maybe it's,
It's a unique enough thing that I would think that I would
you
remember.
remember? Especially if it wasn't French Fry Day.
But yeah.
Tourism
yeah, no,
day.
Yeah, that messes things up.
All right, well, something we'll put on once we do some checking. Oh, we haven't,
Payroll we have to do yet.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll claims.
Just let me call you.
motion by
I'll
Jensen.
second it.
Seconded by Derby to approve the payroll claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Anything else for today, guys? Okay, we stand adjourned. I'm watching people pull up to my house. Mhm. Good. Plumbers.
I always, last year the fair numbers were up, and I would assume Pucker Rush's numbers were up because